Hey everyone. Today we're going to dive into something pretty cool, the world of automotive test driving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got some insider info from RoleCatcher, that platform that helps people land their dream job. And it looks like someone's been digging into what it really takes to become an automotive test driver.
Right, right. I actually looked into this myself.
Now let's...
Let's just say it might not be the image you have in your head.
Hmm, intriguing. So spill the beans. What did RoleCatcher reveal about this career path?
Well, they kind of busted the myth that it's all about, flooring it on a test track all day.
There's more to it than that.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't believe how important data analysis skills are becoming in this field.
Wait, really? Data analysis? That doesn't sound very, Fast and Furious.
I know, right? It seems kind of counterintuitive, but trust me, it's a huge part of it these days.
Okay, you've got to tell me more. What does data analysis have to do with testing cars?
Well, think about it. Test drivers, they're not just out there for joyrides. Every time they get behind the wheel, they're collecting tons of data.
On what? Like how fast the car goes?
That's just a small part. We're talking engine performance, braking distances, how the car handles in different weather. It's about spotting the tiniest flaws, not just putting the pedal to the metal.
So less like a race car driver, more like a detective then. Searching for clues except they're hidden in engine noises and how the car handles.
100%. And just like a detective analyzes evidence, a test driver today has to analyze data.
So we're talking spreadsheets and graphs instead of steering wheels and gear shifts.
Well, not quite. You still need those driving skills. But you got to be tech savvy, too. We're talking software like MATLAB and Python, stuff to really dig into the nitty-gritty.
MATLAB and Python. Those are some seriously heavy-duty programs.
Sure.
Sounds like you need a pretty strong technical background to even think about this career.
Yeah, RoleCatcher really stresses that. They say a deep understanding of vehicle dynamics is key. Basically how a car behaves in motion, the physics of it all.
Okay, so it's not just about feeling the car, it's about understanding the science behind it.
Exactly. And then there are performance metrics, all those measurements that tell you how well a car is performing. And to really stand out, computer-aided design skills are becoming more and more important.
Wow, so much more to it than meets the eye. It's like this whole other side of the automotive world most people don't even realize exists.
Right. And that's where those analytical skills really come in, taking all that raw data from the car's computer systems and turning it into something the engineers can actually use.
So you're not just a driver, you're a data translator too.
Exactly. You're the crucial link between the car and the brains behind it. Your feedback can directly impact how a car is designed.
No pressure there.
None at all. But seriously, being able to communicate your findings clearly, it's just as vital as collecting the data in the first place.
It's like being a tech-savvy driver, a data detective, and a communicator all rolled into one.
That's the job description.
So we've established this is not your average driving gig. But what about building a career in this field? I mean, how do you even go from like car enthusiast to actually testing these high-tech vehicles for a living?
Good question. And RoleCatcher actually lays out a pretty clear path.
A clear path, huh? You're saying it's not just about sending out your resume and hoping for the best.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher makes it clear this is a competitive field, but they do have some pretty interesting tips on how to stand out.
Oh, like what?
Well, they talk a lot about how AI is changing hiring.
AI, like artificial intelligence.
Exactly. Seems like algorithms are doing more and more of the initial screening of applications.
Wow, so it's not even a human looking at your resume at first.
That's what they're saying, at least in a lot of cases. So just sending out a generic resume, it's not going to cut it.
So how do you beat the bots? What's the secret sauce?
RoleCatcher says tailoring your resume is key, like really making sure it's a perfect match for each specific job you apply for.
So no more just changing the company name at the top and calling it a day.
Exactly. You got to make sure you're using the right keywords, highlighting those specific skills the algorithms are looking for.
Man, it's like you need a degree in algorithm whispering just to get a job these days. Does RoleCatcher offer any help with that?
Actually, yeah. They've got this tool, RoleCatcher.capture.
Catchy name. What does it do?
It's pretty cool, actually. You upload a job description, and it analyzes it for you. Like it figures out exactly what the employer is looking for, and then it gives you insights into how their AI system would score your resume.
Whoa, that's like having a cheat sheet for the job market.
Right. It's like they're giving you a peek behind the curtain.
Okay, that's seriously impressive. But it can't be all about just playing the algorithm game. There's got to be more to it than that, right?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher makes it very clear. Continuous learning is key in this field.
Meaning, what do I need to be learning about?
Well, the automotive industry is changing faster than ever. New tech is popping up all the time.
Electric cars, self-driving cars, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher is very clear.
Hmm.
You got to be willing to adapt and constantly be learning. If you want to make it as a test driver, you got to stay ahead of the curve.
So it's not just about landing the job, it's about being ready to evolve with the entire industry. Okay, I get it. But all this talk about challenges and algorithms and constant learning, it kind of makes it seem like there's no fun left in being a car enthusiast.
Don't worry, there's still plenty of fun to be had.
Oh, okay, tell me more.
Well, RoleCatcher spends a lot of time on the unique perks of being an automotive test driver. Things you wouldn't even think of.
Like what? Give me the good stuff. What are some of the unexpected perks of this career path?
Well, for starters, how would you like to be one of the first people in the world to drive a brand new electric car? Like before it even hits the market.
Wait, seriously, you're telling me test drivers get to drive those prototype cars, the ones with all the cutting edge tech that's still top secret?
That's what RoleCatcher says.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. I can't lie. What else? I know there was more.
Oh yeah, the travel opportunities are pretty sweet too.
Oh, right. You're not just stuck on the same test track day after day, are you?
Nope. We're talking about testing cars in all sorts of crazy locations.
So, one day you could be navigating some icy mountain pass in Switzerland, and the next week you're putting a sports car through its paces on a German Autobahn.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. RoleCatcher hinted at something about working with car magazines, too.
Oh, yeah, they did mention that. Something about test drivers collaborating with magazines and publications. I wasn't quite sure what they meant by that.
Me neither at first. But it sounds like test drivers often get to work with these magazines, providing insights and stuff.
So not only do you get to drive the coolest cars before anyone else, you might also get to tell the world about them. That's amazing.
It's a pretty sweet gig if you can get it.
Okay, so we've talked about the data analysis, the algorithms, the constant learning, the travel, the chance to drive the coolest cars before anyone else. It's a lot to take in. What does RoleCatcher say is the absolute most important thing for making it in this world?
They keep coming back to one thing. Continuous learning. This industry is changing so fast. To really thrive, you got to be adaptable and always learning new things.
Be like the car, always evolving. So if you had to pick just one area of automotive technology to really dive into, what would it be? Electric vehicles, self-driving cars. Which way would you steer your career?
It's a tough one. Both are going to be huge. Electric is more about sustainability, right? But self-driving, that's straight out of science fiction, changing how we even think about cars.
Totally. And both involve some seriously cutting-edge tech, and who knows what else is coming down the pipeline. That's what makes this whole thing so exciting. This industry is going through a massive transformation. It's not just about building cars anymore. It's about shaping the future of transportation.
100%. And test drivers. They're right there on the front lines.
Exactly. Whether you're the one analyzing the data, working side by side with the engineers, or putting those prototypes through their paces on a test track, you're a part of something huge. So for anyone out there who's got that need for speed, but maybe also a knack for tech and a love for all things automotive,
Sounds like a recipe for an automotive test driver, if you ask me.
I think you might be onto something there. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We've uncovered the hidden world of data analysis and test driving, busted some myths about career paths, and even uncovered some seriously cool perks along the way. Big thanks to RoleCatcher for the insider knowledge.
Definitely. They really paint a clear picture of what it takes to make it as an automotive test driver.
They do. So to wrap things up, remember, if you want to get behind the wheel of the future, buckle up because it's going to be one heck of a ride. That's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time, same place, for another adventure into the world of exciting careers.
See you then.
Until then, keep exploring.